Very challenging subject this week, but one I think that is incredibly important. That's learning to guard what we watch with our eyes. 1 John 2:15-16. Do not love the world or the things in the world. That's a huge statement. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, there it is again, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. If we don't guard our eyes, it's going to lead to covetousness. If you look at anything desirable long enough, you're going to want it. And you're going to think it's going to make you happy. It's going to make you feel better. So that's what window shopping does, doesn't it? You know, we have an upgrade generation. You know, upgrade everything. Upgrade your car, your house, your TV, your cell phone. And as I said, I think a few weeks ago or last week, next thing is you're going to want to upgrade your wife or upgrade your husband and for a newer model. Well, it's just a mess, isn't it? Proverbs 28:22, a man with an evil eye hastens after riches. Ooh, it's a bit tough, isn't it? So our eyes can also lead us to idolizing people. Wow, sports star, movie star, you know, champion person in some area, or the rich and the famous. And then we become like what we idolize. Sometimes you start to dress like them. Same hairstyle. Begin to talk the way they do. And so it's all this idolatry. Where does it all come from? Again, the root cause is our eyes. So, what should we look at? Well, as Christians, Hebrews 12 verse 2, here's a thought, looking unto Jesus, author and finisher of our faith. Isaiah 6 verse 1, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne. The more with the eyes of faith that we look at Jesus through prayer, through worship, through getting into church, the more we look at Jesus, the more we become like him. And the more we become like him, the less we're going to desire to look at what is not good or what is evil or wrong. Psalm 121 verse 1, I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. Lift up our eyes to the Lord and look at him. Second thing, what should we look at? I think our eyes need to be fixed on God's vision for our lives, of finishing our course. Without a vision or good sight, people perish and they dwell carelessly. Without a vision, people dwell carelessly. See, when you have a vision of God's plan for your life, if you have a vision of what God has purposed for you, it's going to help you to not dwell carelessly, not watch things that you shouldn't be watching. It's going to help you to guard your eyes because you have this vision of God's plan for your life. You think of Jesus, his eyes were ever fixed on the cross. I mean, he set his face like a flint. That was his destination. His eyes were fixed on the vision of God for his life, the plan of God for life. The more you fix your eyes on what God's called you to do and the importance of it, the less you're going to be distracted or drawn away to look at the things that you shouldn't look at. What should we look at? Well, very simply, only have eyes for your wife and no one else. Only have eyes for your husband and don't look elsewhere. Very basic, very simple, but not that easy. And number 4, you can look at Jesus through reading the Bible. John 1 verse 1, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So, as I've said, you may have heard me say it before, instead of so much time in Facebook, put your face into his book. Instead of looking at Facebook, look at the book. Look at Jesus. Look at God. And you turn your eyes in that direction. The more you look at Jesus in the Bible, in his word, it's going to help you to less and less look at the other things that we shouldn't be looking at. Let's continue to pray and ask God to help us to guard our eyes.